Sally, we were a happy family before my dad's girlfriend started hanging around.
Now she's trying to take our dad away from us, and it seems like he loves her more than he loves us.
Sally, my mother's boyfriend controls everything she does. I'd rather sleep on the street than stay in the same house with that guy.
Sally, my father is dating my husband's sister. I am so disgusted. She's such a tramp, and I know she's just using him for his money.
Well, with over half of all marriages ending in divorce, there are a lot of kids out there who are struggling to adapt to mom or dad getting back into the dating game. For single parents, not always easy to get your kids to warm up if there's a new person in your life. And that's what our guests today are dealing with. The kids in these particular instances say, I cannot stand the person that mom or dad is dating. The parents say, look, this is my life. I have a right to date whomever I wish. And meanwhile, the girlfriend or boyfriend gets caught in the middle. So let's see if we can find a way to help them all get along. My first guest, you've seen them already. This is 17-year-old Bianca, and this is her 16-year-old sister, Angela. You hate your dad's girlfriend? Strong word. Angela has not even met her. Their dad, John, and the girlfriend, Jackie, are waiting backstage, and Angela and Jackie will come face to face for the first time in a few minutes. But I want to talk to the girls. Bianca, background. We need some background here. John is not your biological father?
No, he's not.
Okay, he raised you since you were a teeny baby, and you call him Daddy? Right?
Yeah.
And even after you and Mom split up, he's been the one that's been there for you.
Yep.
Right? Am I right so far?
You're right.
Okay, Bianca, what's the problem with Dad's girlfriend?
Oh, God, she's a liar. She's conniving. She's backstabbing.
She'll tell you one thing and then she'll turn around and she'll tell somebody else another. And it's like she contradicts herself in a lot of ways. It's like she doesn't care about what she's doing to our family. It's more about how she's bettering herself and her family.
And that's
You
it.
told Dad this, right?
Oh, plenty of times.
Okay, has he changed since he's been with her?
Oh, yeah, a big change. His attitude, he doesn't write us anymore. He doesn't call us. He doesn't do anything anymore.
You don't live at home with him?
No.
Not anymore. We moved to Florida with my mom a couple of years ago.
All right.
And he used to write more often. He used to call, and he used to talk to us. He used to call every Sunday on the phone, but not anymore.
He doesn't do anything.
It's like she's more important to him. He's put her before us in every sense of the way.
And you think she's brainwashing him?
Oh, yes, definitely. She's slick. She is. She knows what she's doing. She might try to act like she's not, but she knows what she's doing.
Now, Bianca, you're especially upset because you used to be very close with
yes,
Jackie.
we used to be really good friends when we first met, and that's why I say she's backstabbing and slick, because we got along really well when I first met her, and then as soon as I went to Florida, I guess that's when she felt that she could take over and she could do what she wanted to do.
You say this trouble with Jackie came to a head Christmas. What happened Christmas?
Oh, okay, well, every year, before she came along, every Christmas, we've always been together. It's always been family. Even though my parents haven't been together, they come together and they get along no matter what the differences are.
We would either
for me
come
and my
to New
sister.
York to him for Christmas, or he would come to Florida
and
for us.
this year he said that we had to spend Christmas with Jackie, and we had to choose between my mother or them. That he felt we didn't have to be a family anymore.
Because it was our turn to come to New York this year, but it was cheaper to pay for him to come to Florida than for three of us to come to New York.
Then he came.
But
he didn't even stay there with us. He made a whole big fight on Christmas Day.
Spent hundreds
didn't even
of dollars.
stay there on a hotel room, and she's sitting here. Why I say she's a liar is because before he came on his way down here, she was telling me that she wanted him to be with us, stay in the house, so we could be a family. But then when I talked to him, he tells me that she was telling him not to stay in my mom's house.
Because she didn't want him around my mom, because she thought maybe something was going to happen, or I don't know.
Wow.
But it was...
Angela, you've never met Jackie?
No.
So how can you dislike somebody you never met?
I've spoken to her. I've spoken to her on the phone. I spent a lot of time speaking to my sister about her. There's been a lot of commotion over the whole thing with Jackie. It's not the fact that I haven't met her, it's the fact that I've spoken to her.
I mean, I've been kicked out of the house over this girl, because when we did get along when I first moved to Florida, I defended her every day with my mother and my sister, and they saw it a long time ago, and I didn't want to see it.
Right.
And I defended her, and we were really good friends, and I defended her.
How do you feel about
house.
seeing her for the first time face to face?
Really, it makes me sick to see her.
It does?
Yeah, because, I mean, she's manipulated my father in a lot of ways into not making us as important to him as we should be.
All right, now, anybody sitting here is thinking, you kids live in another state, Maybe you're just jealous that Dad is not got that kind of attention.
Oh, no, not at all. From day one, we have told him that we support him. We want nothing more for him to be happy. We've seen his
I would
past
love
relationships
for
and
my
they haven't
dad to be
worked out.
happy. It's just she has taken the situation and she's made it she's made it worse because she's trying to down us, it seems like, to better her relationship
We're not
with
jealous
him.
of her kids. She has 3 kids. He did a beautiful thing for us. Why can't he do a beautiful thing for somebody else's kids?
They deserve to have
So
a
we
father
understand
figure in
that.
their life, and I appreciate that.
All right. I would imagine for Jackie, this is going to be very difficult. Let's hear what John and his girlfriend Jackie have to say. John and Jackie, come on out. See? Some people for, some people against. John, you've been listening backstage. How does it make you feel to hear your daughter say those things about your girlfriend? I mean, life is full of problems, but this must be very difficult for you.
This is a hard problem, okay? I'd like to say in front of everybody here, okay? I love these girls deeply. There is nothing more important in my life, okay? It rips me to the bone, okay, to know that they have a problem because I am now finding some happiness, okay? I've made them both priority 1 in my life.
Well, talk to your daughter. She's
I've
obviously.
made you both priority 1.
I've told this
okay?
woman on the phone, and I've told you, I want nothing more than for you to be happy.
So
and it's wrong. You don't call, you don't write, you don't do
But that
anything
has
anymore.
nothing to do with her.
No, Dad,
That
Then
has
why
nothing to do
is
with
it
her.
before she came along, you've had numerous girlfriends, and none of them have ever gotten in the way, but all of a sudden she comes along.
This is my first
Now,
serious
but he loves us too,
relationship.
Jackie.
Okay.
Why can't he be with everybody? Why does it got to be all about you?
He
Why
loves
can't
us
it be?
too, and I don't
But I don't understand why it's got to be all about her.
No, but you stopped showing
But
that
it doesn't
you love
have to be
us.
all about her. Why
Not
can't it be
true.
about everybody?
Not true.
You stopped expressing love to us because of her.
Not true.
Well, did you stop
Okay, so
before?
then you forgot the
it
phone
wasn't
number,
before.
right?
Not true.
You forgot the
Did you
address?
forget the address and the phone number and you
No,
forgot?
I've got
Did you
it.
forget all
I've
that?
got it.
Well, then how come
And
you
then she
don't
gonna
want
sit
it?
up there and she
You're
gonna lie
telling
to
me-
tell me on the phone, oh, I want John to spend Christmas with his kids. I want him to be in the house. But then you come up
then
here and
you
you
wanna-
telling me she says she don't want you there?
But you
No.
haven't seen
You gotta
I
answer the
didn't
phone
wanna
every
be
5
there.
minutes to
All
check
right,
in on her.
we can't all talk at once. Take it calmly.
You told me.
John, do you think the girls are just having a hard time adjusting to sharing you? They say it isn't that. Do you think it's that?
I think they think they're going to get less from me because I now have someone else involved in
People
my life.
don't think
Yes.
something without having
Yes.
having it brought to them.
And
I'm not
I
gonna think
think-
something if I haven't seen anything.
I think I have enough love within me that I can love them all. I don't see where there's a problem with that.
That's thank you. Why don't
Yes.
you show it then? Why don't you show it? It's
Can I
easy.
just say
You know,
something?
words are easier than
All right,
actions.
you're all
Would I
talking.
be here?
You're all
Excuse me.
talking
No,
at
you're
once.
here because
Hold on.
she called in.
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
but would I
Right,
show up?
right.
All right, would
Because
I
I'm
show
not
up?
Because you love
Right.
Jack. Of course, Jackie's
I wanna
got
get
everything.
something
You
here.
gonna
Wait
make
a
her
minute,
happy.
guys. Hold on.
You say it's not Jackie, then what's the reason why you stopped calling your daughters all of a
Thank
sudden?
you.
Thank you. Why did everything stop? It never stopped.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
And wait, there's a difference. There's a difference because before he didn't have a phone and he would go to
He
a
would ride his
payphone.
bike in the snow.
He would go
because
to a
he has no
payphone and put
license.
up to $15.
Now he can't go.
All right, we
He
want to
calls,
know why
excuse me,
you
he calls
don't.
because he calls from my home and I have the phone bills to prove it, okay?
He has-
So he calls.
Yeah, he
They're
called
saying
Jackie,
he
but he
doesn't call,
stopped.
but he does.
He used to call and he stopped.
He used to go to
I want you to
Jackie
show us
and
the bill.
he
I
also
want
gave
her
you
to show
a
phone bill within
stationery
the last
for
6 months
Christmas
that he's
right
called
to
from
him,
my house
and you
because
have
you will
the
not
juice.
Should be a two-way
What,
street,
Ellie,
you know?
at Christmas? You didn't want to come out on Christmas.
Oh my God.
The only reason you came out because Angie was so adamant about not going to
No, because
to New
I
York.
told him to.
Who are you yelling at?
I
Oh, I'm
told
sorry.
him.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
you yell at me. That's
Sorry,
number
I
one.
didn't curse. That's a lie.
I
That's a lie
told
right there.
Well, you can,
Why should you have to tell him to, Jackie? Why
Jackie,
can't he do it on his
shh,
own?
Jackie, do you
You shouldn't have to
feel
tell him nothing.
like you're
You're
caught
not his mother.
between John and the girls?
Yeah, but you want to be.
No,
I
I
feel
don't. I
like-
want to be a good, and you want to allow that to happen.
Do you feel like you're caught between John and the girls?
I don't feel like I'm caught in between them. I feel like that John's being put in the middle and unfairly. The only thing that I want for him is, you know, happiness and peace and
First of all, you've pushed your way in between this relationship.
I'm sorry.
You have ripped our
I'm sorry.
family apart.
Not
Excuse me,
true.
Sally. I have
Not true.
offered
That
to
is
back
true,
off of
Dad.
him.
That
I've
is not
offered
true.
to break up with him. I've offered to leave
We
him
don't want you to
many
break up
a
with him,
time.
Jackie. We're not
Many a
saying
time
that.
because
See,
they
now
feel
she's
that
trying to
I'm
make it
coming
sound
to you
like
like
she's trying to make it sound like we don't want them to be together. I want my dad to be with whoever makes him happy, but at the same time, they gotta accept me and my sister.
So what's
Okay.
wrong with that?
Because you're not doing it.
It
You
sounds
won't
like
share.
that. She's
Share?
like
I
a
was
bad
just friends with
influence
the
on
woman.
him because he's not really calling his kids and everything. He should dump her. You know, blood is thicker than water.
No.
But wait a minute.
Wait a minute, Sally.
Now, wait a
I don't
minute.
agree with that, because that's not what we're saying. I don't agree with that at all.
What is it
That's not
that
what
you
I'm saying.
kids want?
I want
Explain
him
to
to
me.
be a dad to me and also be a lover to her.
Okay.
He could
That
be
would
both
be
of those.
fair if he would just give us 100%.
All right, now,
he could
are
give
you
her
listening
too.
to what the girls are saying?
Yeah.
They do
Yeah.
not want you to break up with her.
Okay.
They want more of your attention. They feel that since she entered the picture, they're getting less attention.
Okay.
You've
okay.
known that, right?
Yeah, I'm
so
aware of
what
that.
is the problem here?
The problem is that they don't want to be included. Now I'm saying, okay, maybe I've made a few mistakes, but now I'm willing to include them in my new life. I'm not excluding them. I'm not saying, well, because I have her, now you can't be included.
Excuse me.
We don't-
Didn't
They
we
don't
tell you-
choose to be
excuse me,
included.
Wasn't I the one that got kicked out of mommy's house for defending you and her? Wasn't I?
But that's your mother, and that's another story.
No, it's not another
was
story
defending you.
because I was defending you and her, and I got kicked out the house with no place to go. And then when I turned to you, you still turned your back on me for defending you.
How
you
did he
didn't take
turn
her
his
back
back on
after
you?
that.
Because when I got thrown out of my house, I said, Dad, can I please come back and stay with you? No. Now,
And it wasn't because of that.
Now listen, all right? I know I made mistakes in my life. I might not have been.
She was the third wheel in the relationship,
Now,
and she was come between
I
them.
might not have been, the best teenager in the world. I might not have, done everything I was supposed to. But last time I checked, if you're going to be a father to someone, that's unconditional no matter what you do. It's not like I killed nobody.
And the difference is, he is not our biological father. He's not. But since I was 8 months old, he raised us, and he's the only
I went
father
through it
I
one
know.
time, and I'm
So
not
if
going
he
to go through it
wasn't-
again.
If he
If
wasn't
gonna
going to
do this,
stay
he should
there,
have stepped off a
why
long
did he
time
take
ago
it
and
till
not
I
wait
love
till all
him
this
so much?
time.
My heart hurts so bad that he's pulling away now. Why does he have to wait till I'm so old and this is my father. It's the only daddy I know. You know what I'm saying?
Jackie,
I can't
you know
live
what
without
it's
my
like
father. It's
to
the
have
only
trouble
man a
with your
girl should be able
father
to
because you
count
went through
on.
the same thing.
I did. You're right. You're right, Bianca. I
What-
did, and I have made suggestions to him. I've offered to back off. I've told.
We don't want that. We're not
But I
saying
don't
you
know
gotta
what
back
else to
off,
do. I
Jackie.
don't know what. I've tried to be friendly with you. I've extended
We were
myself.
exactly,
You're right.
Jackie.
I don't know
we
what
were
happened.
friends.
I
And then when I went to
didn't tell him.
Florida and my dad came back, the number one thing is my mom is going to be in my life no matter what, and I'm not going to
right.
have to choose between nobody. And I shouldn't have
Well,
to.
wait.
choose
Is
you
mother
for
with
nobody else.
somebody now?
No.
Okay,
what
but
is my
maybe.
point is, check out my
But
point.
hold
Okay,
on a
Sally,
moment.
excuse
Let's
me.
find out how Jackie feels.
Look.
She was listening to you two complaining about her, calling her a backstabber. How does all that make you feel?
It makes me feel very upset. I feel personally betrayed by Bianca because I have made efforts. I really have made efforts to do the right thing as far as Bianca's concerned. Anytime they call,
She feel betrayed by me.
Because Bianca, she tried to be a friend
anytime
to
I
you.
was a friend to her.
He
And
didn't
she was
opened
the
up
one
her
calling
home
up
to
to
you
me.
and everything.
Dad, this is not the point
Allowed
here.
your friends
the point is
and
that
everything.
I was friends with Jackie until
Wait,
Christmas time when you
excuse
came
me,
up
if
there.
I'm so
Jackie's
manipulative-
chance to talk.
if I'm so manipulative, why is it that I can't get a word in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Basically I extended myself. Anytime they called, I would take message verbatim. I would write them word for word. And my
Do I
whole-
get the feeling that you don't know what you've done wrong? Is that the feeling you're getting?
Exactly.
Can you tell her what she's done
I can
wrong?
tell exactly what she's
Just
done wrong.
one thing at a
Personally, I believe Jackie is two-faced. She lies a lot. And
Give me an example of her.
because
Give
I
me
was
an
really good
example
friends
of
with
her
one
lying.
time.
Give me an example of her lying. You can't call somebody a liar
Now, when
unless
I
you.
had got kicked out of my house and I was going through a lot of trouble, Jackie was like, "Oh, Bianca, your dad's gonna take you back. It's only a matter of time. Your dad's gonna take you back. Your dad's gonna take you back." Then I talked to my dad. My dad never said that. So she's playing one end against the other.
Okay, let her answer that.
What happened was that he said he would take you back eventually, but he wanted to see some things from you. And you were saying, he's never going to take me back, he's never going to take me back. And I said, no, don't say he'll never take you back, because eventually he will. He wants to see certain things from you. That's
Now,
all.
Let me just make a point.
That's
How can
not
you
a
keep
lie.
job if
Wait,
you have nowhere
are
to
you
live?
interpreting that as a lie?
But
that
you
she
have
lied
somewhere
to
to
you?
live. You can live with your mother. You choose to not get
Jackie,
along
that
with
is
your
not
mother.
a choice that I have
You
made not to
choose
live with my
not to
mother.
get along
Now,
with
see,
your
first
mother.
of all, When you moved him in, you accepted me and my sister.
He moved in with me. He moved in with me, and you're right. I never had a problem accepting you and your sister. You and your sister had a problem accepting me.
No, Jackie, that's a damn lie.
We'll be right back.
I hate my mother's boyfriend so much. I already moved out of the house, and if she don't dump him, I think I'm gonna kill him.
Today we're talking with teens who say they can't stand the person that their mother or father is dating, and the parents say, listen, get used to it because I'm in love. I've never seen. You know, it's obvious to me that there's not that much of a problem, that you really love each other, or you wouldn't be this upset. Can you just be calm for just a bit? Because there's so much good in this relationship. You've done some wonderful job. These are not even your biological daughters, and look at how much they care for you. That's amazing, amazing thing. Now, we want you to meet 16-year-old Chris. It'll help you, Bianca and Angela, to get involved in someone else's story. Chris says he hates his mother's boyfriend so much that he could even see himself killing the boyfriend. Judith and the boyfriend Ed are waiting backstage, but Chris, that's a very strong statement.
Yeah.
What does Ed do that is so bad?
Everything. He is, I can't use the words, but he brainwashes my mother to tell him to stay away from me. I don't live in the house. I'm no longer her problem. He made her quit her job so she could be with him 24 hours a day. He has to have her there.
Okay.
Or else he will get mad.
Okay. How has he treated you?
Can't use those words neither. He started downgrading me, calling me names, and I'm like, I ain't gonna put up with that. I'm like, Mom, it's either me or him that's leaving.
Okay.
Like,
now let me
Ed
understand
gives him a funny
something.
face, says, I'm not leaving because of him. And I'm like, fine, then see ya. So I lived out on the streets for 2 weeks because of him.
Do you live at home now?
No, I live
don't.
with my father.
Okay. I want you to be very specific about what you don't like that he made your mother quit her job.
Not really.
You don't
no.
like that he wants her around 24 hours a day. What else don't you like? Be very specific. Has he done anything bad to you?
Not really what he's done, but what I know he's going to do.
What do you think he's going to do?
No, it's a long story. My ex-girlfriend, okay, her uncle was married to one of his ex-wives before he knew her.
Okay.
He come around and my ex-girlfriend's uncle lost complete contact with his wife. Ed brought her out, did all this, did all that with her. They got a divorce. Ed married her. The day he married her, he started beating her.
Okay.
And I don't want to stick around my house to see him do that to my mom.
Have you... Now, there's a very important question. That's one person told you that secondhand.
No, about 50 people. I've got some of his friends saying that he beat both of his wives.
Okay. You're absolutely sure that this is true, because it would be a terrible thing to say about somebody that
I could
isn't
give you
true.
the phone numbers
Have you
and have
told
you call
your
them.
mother that? Have you told your mother that you feel that?
I've told her, but she won't listen to me. She says, "No, it's just one of your thoughts. I'm totally happy. Leave me alone." It's like, okay, I'll leave you alone. I won't
How
say
are you
anything.
doing now, living with your father?
I'm doing perfectly fine.
Okay.
I'm happy, but I would like to see my mother.
Happy. You told us that.
To see her.
Okay. You told us that Ed tried to pick up your girlfriend. Is that true?
Yes, I was at my 19-year-old girlfriend. We were at the skating rink, and he'd be, skating around. All of a sudden, he'd come up behind my girlfriend, grab her ass. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Then we're sitting off on the sidelines. He's rubbing her shoulder, moving down.
Did she tell you about that?
Yeah, she told me, and I watched him do it.
Did you tell?
And
did you tell?
I was not there the whole time.
Right. Did you tell your mother this?
Yes.
You did.
And he said it was a mistake. I didn't mean to touch her.
Okay. All right. Now, let's hear, there's two sides to every story. Let's hear Chris's mom and her boyfriend. Judith and Ed, come on out.
Lies, and you know it.
All lies, Chris.
I got it firsthand about this person that you're talking about that he supposedly beat. I talked to her mother-in-law on the phone before I got here, and he didn't touch her.
So you telling
Am
all
I
his 50 of his friends are lying?
Their address, and you go talk to.
No, I don't care about where.
Nonsense out of is lies.
Ex-wife.
Beat his wife more than once, and I can prove that.
He never touched her.
This ain't about.
No, it ain't.
This is about you.
I didn't do a thing, Chris. I would
And
like
what
to have
you will do.
I would like to have you tell me
never
what
would
you
touch
really
me.
got wrong with me.
I never said he
Right
hasn't
here,
touched
in front
you.
of all this
He
public and
never
everything else.
would.
Tell me what's
How
wrong
do you
with
know
me.
that?
I've lived with him for 11 months. I know these guys.
11 months. What does that matter? What about? It's a perfect person, right?
I made a mistake.
You made a mistake. You can do it again.
No, maybe I can, yeah, but I made a mistake. The first and the second time, I'm sorry. But we do make mistakes.
People can make mistakes, but I don't want to see you get
Let
hurt
me
again.
ask you.
I'm not going to get hurt.
Do you feel that he's too controlling?
No.
You do not feel that?
No,
Do you ever
I love
feel
spending 24 hours a day with this man. He's a very loving, compassionate, caring person.
you don't feel any fear of him hurting you in any
No,
way?
he wouldn't hurt anybody.
Okay.
I
Have
would
you
just,
ever
I would
hurt?
just mess around with a kid out there playing with her. I don't want to hurt nobody. I'm never going to hurt anybody.
What about
I'll tell
the
you
thing
what,
at
if he
this-
wants me to leave, I'll leave.
No, but tell me about
Okay.
the thing at the.
I love her enough for that, I'll leave her. If she wants me to leave, and he wants me to leave, I'll leave.
Tell me about the thing in the skating rink.
No, I already talked to her girlfriend on the phone, and I asked her what if this happened. I said, look, I says, I'm not going to get mad at you or anything. I says, I'd like to know exactly what happened. She goes, the only thing I can think of is when we were lining up against the banister type thing, watching the skating rink. Chris was here, she was here, Ed was here, and I was here, and his arm was around me. And somehow she got the impression that he brushed her with her hand. His hand was on my shoulder.
We was on roller skates, okay? You ever been roller skating? You get this pretty big thing, you roller skate around. It's kind of hard to stop yourself. You slip, slide.
Yeah, but the same girl every time?
No.
There's no 50 other girls on that floor, and you have to hit the same
just
girl
do me one
every
favor,
single
one big
time.
favor. Instead of running your mouth for something you don't really know, tell me, plain out right here, right now, why you don't like me. It's not because of any girls, anybody else. Why don't you like me?
Because I know the real story about you.
You don't know. You don't know nothing. You've been with me 11 months. Okay, 11 months.
Not even 11 months, less than 3 months.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
And he
What about
moved
me and
out.
you being
No,
together?
Chris, he is asking you why you don't like him. Answer him.
Your attitude towards everything. You try to avoid your problems instead of facing them. I mean, you've never talked to me like this until just now.
Because
You
you
never
never
give me a
get
chance.
I
You
went
come
out
up
with
and you
you.
say, hey, Ed, you got a couple bucks. I say, go digging with me, and you'll earn your couple of bucks. Or I'll give it to you. If you ask a cigarette, I'll give it to you. I just don't know
And
what the problem is.
I've tried really talking to you, and Mom moves someplace, you'll go with her. So I'm not going to follow you guys around just
you
because
can
you
go
want to be
digging
her
with me
puppy
anytime you
dog.
feel like it. You can go for rides. And
You
I
have
don't
to
hold your mother
explain to
down.
our audience who don't know what you mean when you say digging. You must explain. I know, but you have to tell them what you do for a living.
I'm a bloodworm digger. I go out in the mud and dig bloodworms in the mud.
So you guys can fish.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I do for a living. That's what I do. I don't make much money, but it's fun and I enjoy it.
Okay.
He lives up for a check.
Yeah, that's it.
As a Fisher person, I thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Next, this 16-year-old is furious that her ex-best friend is now dating her dad. What she doesn't know is that things are about to get messier because the friend is pregnant. Stay with us. Welcome back. Meet 16-year-old Denise and her husband. That's right, her husband, Jeff. Denise is married, and she and Jeff, at 16, she has 2 children. She says they are very happy. What's the problem? Okay. How old were you when you got married? I mean, how old were you? And when did you have, you had 2 children 1 year?
No, I thought you said married. I had my kids when I was 15 and 16.
Okay. Jeff's sister, who used to be Denise's best friend, is now dating Denise's dad, and Denise says this is too much to handle. Denise's dad could not be with us today. Why is that?
He's too scared to get on TV, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Jeff's sister, Kenitha, is waiting backstage. So let's talk to Denise first. Denise, what are you upset about?
I'm disgusted. I mean, me and Jeff have a little bit of age difference, but it's nothing. She's 20 and he's 48. It's disgusting. They're in a totally different generation. She doesn't have a job. She's like a little kid, you know. She's just nasty.
Always partying.
She's always partying. She
doesn't take anything seriously.
She doesn't.
You
know.
used to be best friends, right?
Right. Yeah. We went everywhere together. We partied together when I used to party before I started having kids. But we went to school together. We did everything together. We were best friends. We shared clothes.
Did her dating your father cause the breakup between the two of you?
Yes. She started acting like I was, like I was her daughter or something. When I went over there, she was on the level like my dad would be with me, so I wasn't putting up with that, so I just started telling my dad how I felt about it,
How did they start their relationship?
It all started, I was talking to my dad on the phone one day, and she was over at our apartment, and my dad was joking around. He was like, "What are you doing, Kenitha?" And she was like, "I'm coming over," and he was like, "All right, I'll have you over for dinner," and she was like, "Are you going to cook me a big, fat, juicy steak?" She was talking real suggestively to him. And then about a week later, we went over there, and she just stayed when we left. She just stayed. This was the first time. I don't think it was the first time she had met him, but it was the first time they had really talked. And she just stayed.
Now you're married, and you have your children, and you have your own life.
Right.
Why? And you're not her best friend anymore.
No.
What does it matter what the two of them do?
Because my dad completely ignores me now, and I don't want my dad to get hurt. He's been married twice. He's been hurt in the past, and I know how she is. She has been married twice. She's still married to her late husband. She has planned to kill her first husband. She chased him with a butcher knife. She made both her husbands go bankrupt, and it's going to happen. My dad's very well off, and she's going to take his money. I know she's taking his money.
Now, your husband is Kenitha's brother.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Is
so
that
it's
a very
incest too, I guess.
Is that a very small town?
No.
No.
Louisville, Kentucky.
No, I just wonder if they ran out of people. Jeff, what do you think of this?
I think
This is your sister.
It's pretty disgusting, for real. I mean, I don't have. She can live her own life, and her father can live his own life. But what bugs me the most is she is being neglected. Before my sister came along, he'd come over, pick her up, take her out to eat, take her out shopping. They just spend time together. And now, I mean.
So it's the story that we heard at least twice before, that you feel that he is.
I'm just scared he's going to get hurt mainly because I know how she is. She's sneaky.
I have to clear up the. Do you mind if I bring her out? Because I want to clear up that she tried to kill her first husband.
That's what we heard. That's what we've heard.
Kenitha, will you come on out? Kenitha, did you try to kill your first husband?
I was planning on it.
I've rarely had somebody come on television tell me they were planning on killing somebody. You want to tell me about it? Wait. Let her explain to me why you were planning to kill your husband.
For some money.
For some money?
Yep.
Can you explain what you mean by money?
He has life insurance on him, so I was going to take it.
She just married him for his money in the first place. She chased him with a butcher knife. I saw her chase him with a butcher knife before.
So what's wrong with that?
Wait.
What's wrong with that? So I'm going to kill my dad.
Kenitha, let me understand something. You married this man and you had an insurance policy, and you're telling me that you honestly planned on killing him?
Yeah, but it backfired, so.
How did it
backfire?
How did it backfire?
Well, the two guys that I was going to have it done with by, the other guy had went off and said something to Jimmy, so it's not done. He ain't dead.
He's in prison now.
Next, who's in prison?
Her ex-husband, the one that she...
Why is he in prison if she tried to kill him?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Kenitha, what are your feelings for her dad?
I love him. I really do. Y'all can believe it or not, I do love him.
There's 20-some-odd years difference, 28
There's
years
no way
difference.
she can love
So,
him. How could
I
she
love
lay
him,
in
so
bed?
keep your mouth
How could she
shut,
lay in bed
okay?
with an old
I
man
am talking.
old
She's
enough
asking
to
me
be
a
your
question,
dad. He
so
is
shut
old
up.
enough to be your dad. Oh, God. How could she lay in bed with a man old enough to be her dad? It's disgusting. It makes me want to throw up.
Don't worry about it.
I can't stand it.
Don't worry about it.
Can't stand calling over
You
there.
need to be worrying about your own life besides my life.
I don't have a problem in my life.
And the only
You're the
time
ones
you
with the
come
problem.
around your days
You ain't
when
got a
you
job.
want money,
You
honey.
ain't got a car.
That's the only reason you're with him.
Oh, really? Is that the reason why I'm going around him? Yeah.
Well, okay, then I'll let you talk now. Why are you with my dad? What is?
I
what
told
do
you, I love
see?
him. He's a nice
You
guy.
love
He
him.
likes to party. He likes to have fun. He's not no
My dad
old
is a
48-year-old man.
My dad is an old man. He's
No,
an
he's
old
not.
man.
That's because you
Okay, Kenitha, you have an announcement to make. Now's your chance.
I got two things to say to you, Denise. I'm pregnant, and it's by your father.
No. Okay. Just all right. When we do an update show, she can bring a baby. Because my dad's not gonna continue this.
Your
pregnancy.
dad already knows it, honey.
He'll
Your dad already
want her to
knows
get an
it.
abortion.
My mom already knows
We've
it.
already talked about this before, other times.
I'm not having no abortion.
I'm pro-choice, and so is my dad. And he would try to talk her into having an abortion. He wouldn't force her, but he would try to talk her into having an abortion. He doesn't want no more kids. He's got a 12-year-old. My dad works out of town all week. She takes care of my 12-year-old brother. Okay,
And I take good damn care of him, too.
he can't stand it. She tells him what to do.
Next, let's see if we can get some help for these families. Stay with us. Please welcome family therapist Dr. Dale Atkins. Dale, I wonder if you'll sit with me, and this audience has been dying to talk to the people on stage. So just sit with me for a while.
Sally, my question's for Bianca and Angela. Do you have contact with your biological father?
Sure don't.
No.
I'd just like to say that I think you should be glad for what you've had so far with your father. And let you have his life.
You know, it doesn't work like that.
It
does not work like that. A person cannot decide he's going to be a father some of the time and then decide he's not here. So you sit down. So you sit down.
Grateful for what we've had.
He should be grateful for us too.
If she is what you say she is, he will realize it one day and come back to you.
No, he won't.
Listen, why should it be that
Go
we
ahead.
had a father up until now, so that's it? Why is it only that we have a father?
Bianca, I don't think your problem is with Jackie. I think your problem is with your dad.
No, it's not really all the way.
And with Judith, I think you at least should spend at least an hour with your son. Your son should come first before any man.
And for the lady at the end, I didn't get your name. I didn't get your name.
Kenitha.
I think you need psychiatric help. I really do.
Dr. Atkins. What is really going on here?
Well, Sally, there's so much going on here. I think a lot of the things that are going on is nobody really planned for the introduction of these people into the lives with all of these young people. I think we're hearing so much pain. Whenever anybody loses something, there's an introduction. Everybody here has lost something. These girls are very fearful that they've lost their father, and their experience is that they've lost their father. Whether or not you think that by changing your behavior and writing to them or not writing to them, they have been abandoned once by their first father. You were their father, and you are their father. And the relationship that's going on, it's so tense. And I think that you're kind of brought in and dragged in, and it is between the two of you, you and your two daughters first.
So she was right. It is between the two girls.
But you see, none of these is in isolation. None of these are in isolation.
Also, whether my dad would have been in there or not.
But you see, all of these issues are very complex. I think that Angela is really in pain. She never met Jackie, and yet was ripe to hate her. There's not been any sense of who these people are as individuals. Nobody really knows who they are. They just hate each other, and they can't stand each other. Chris would like to have a relationship, I think, with his mother. You had a relationship with Ed at one point. You're fearful that your mother's going to get hurt. You have a history of knowing that your mother has not been treated well by men, that you've had difficult relationships in the past. But nobody's really talking about what your fears are. You said this is the first time you spoke to each other on television. You've been living together for 11 months. There has to be some approach to get together, to talk to each other. You can't just expect that people are going to love each other because they come into each other's lives. It's totally unrealistic. It's totally unrealistic. And I have to say to you, you know, Kenitha, you seem to have a sense that you are entitled to do whatever you want. This girl is in pain. This young mother is in pain because of what's going on with her.
She's jealous. That's all it is.
Whether or not, let me tell you something. I want to say something. Every single emotion will be brought up in these situations. You're going to have jealousy. You're going to have envy. You said before that in counseling it was brought out that Chris didn't want to share you. Yeah. No son wants to share his mother. No daughter wants to share her father. That's right. And this is normal. This is normal. This is what happens. So that when we have new people coming into the lives of our parents, we're very jealous. We're very upset. We really don't want this to happen, but we have to adapt. It takes so much time.
I'll admit that I'm jealous because it seems to me like my father has been there for me all this time, and I know, Jackie, I know that your kid's father is not able to be with them, and I understand that, and I believe that your kids deserve a father figure also. But what I don't understand is why he has to drop what he started. You're right. That's how I feel, Daddy. Every time you told me, every time you talked about my father, every time you talked about my father, my biological father, you told me what a coward he was, and you saw the tears in my eyes. You saw how much pain I felt because I lost him, and I said to you, Daddy, why did the man that make me not want me? And now you got me. You became Daddy to me, and it's like you're tearing yourself away from me.
Let me just say something.
That's what I'm telling you. That's why I'm
excuse me. I might not be trying to, but that's what
the experience is. Her experience is that she is now losing a second father. Once we have a loss, the first loss, any subsequent loss feels like the first one, and it brings up all those same feelings. So you may not think you're loving them less, and I suspect you don't love them less. But you have to look at what's happening with these girls.
Okay, so
they
how
are
do
so
I change
frightened.
that?
I think you change it by, first of all, trying to talk, and it's tough. There's a lot of screaming going on
Yeah,
here.
how do you get past that?
But the screaming, you get past it. You just did. Angela just spoke to you and you heard her. And I think Bianca can speak to you and you can hear her. You need to do it on your own first. And Jackie, you also have to be a part of this, but in the sidelines. They have to heal what's going on there. None of you have spent time, independent time alone with your biological parent. In this case, I consider you that, their father,
right.
Or with the step family.
Can I just say something? Angela said something about my children needing a father, and yes, you're right, my children do need a positive role model in their life, but John is not coming into my life. John is not in my life to be my children's father. John and I are together because I love John. John is a great, wonderful person, and he loves me, and I love him, and that's the way it is. My children are not in it I'm not in this so that my children have a father. You know, my children basically are accepting the relationship, and they're great.
We'll be right back. Bianca, let me ask Dr. Dale a question.
Yes.
Isn't there an age limit at which the father does have the right to have a relationship? I mean,
and I think
I would feel
an age
that
limit?
yeah, I mean, if they were 38, could they still be saying the same thing?
Absolutely. You see, little kids, adolescents, adults have very, very, very deep reactions when their parents divorce and then get involved with other people. This happens all the time, but I think that all adults have the right to have a relationship in their lives, to have love relationships in their lives. The issue is that it doesn't happen without having effects every other relationship.
So that's what John is discovering.
Right.
Question.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Denise, does your father know about her past history with her past husbands? And and he still is involved with her?
He's just brainwashed. I guess, I don't know.
Brainwashed.
But I will say, if she is
You're
pregnant,
brainwashed.
I'll accept my brother or sister, you know. So if you are pregnant, that's fine, but I don't think it's going to last.
Well,
We'll be right back.
With Denise and Jeff and Kenitha, I think that there is a much more complicated issue here. You're focusing on the age difference. I don't think you need to focus on the age difference. The issue is what your sense is about who this woman is. It's so complicated. She's your husband's sister.
Right.
She was your best friend. I think that, you know, clearly your father isn't here. You have an issue with your father. Now, your father is a grown man who can make whatever choice he wants to make, and he can go with Kenitha, he cannot. If Kenitha's pregnant, you're going to have to deal with the fact that she's going to have a baby, and this baby is now going to be a part of your life. But I think that you can talk to your father and you can say whatever you need to say to him, but you still have a relationship with your husband. You have 2 children that you're trying to raise. And if you're not going to be with Kenitha and she's not going to be in your life, so be it. But deal with your father. You still have a relationship with your father.
Not now.
Yeah,
Well, you can still, what I'm saying to you, well, maybe you have to stop challenging him with Kenitha and say, Dad, this is what I need from you alone. I need you to be a grandfather to my children.
No, you don't.
Every time he comes over, you and
Every time.
You and Denise don't know how to talk to each other in a way that's humane, and I think that when you learn how to do that, it will be helpful. And until that, perhaps you shouldn't talk to each other at all, because this isn't working.
Maybe we shouldn't.
We'll be right back. Thank you, Dr. Dale. Thank you for being with us. See you next time.